Hey guys, BJ the Brave back with another deck guide for you and my second guide for the new Astra Militarium. And I'm pretty excited about this one because this one's a lot of fun and it's also proving to be really powerful. We are making use of Solar, the actual legendary Warlord for this one. I have already done the Commissar, the beginner kind of Warlord. So if you haven't seen that deck guide, go and check that out on my channel now. If I can remember, I'll link it above. Have a look, but if not, it's on my channel. All right. So today we're going to be focusing on Solar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the deck, and then I'm going to show you a beginner version of the deck as well, which is what I would use if I was just starting and trying to build and collect towards the pro version of the deck. So let's start with the pro version and then we'll go through it. Alright, so what are we trying to do with this deck? Well, in a nutshell, we are going quite heavy in the late game and we're trying to overwhelm our opponent with big, massive, beastly tanks that they just can't deal with. So the whole game plan kind of revolves around that. Now that's the first reason why I think Solar Leontus is actually pretty good for this type of tank build. Why? Because if you look at his abilities, first of all, he can give himself and other units +1/+1 until your next turn. So that is still buffed in your opponent's turn. That's really good because if you're playing a later game curve, which we are, that means that our Warlord is more able to trade and get rid of early minions all by himself. Doesn't even need troops to do it, right? Because he's up to 3 range and melee attack. So we're less reliant on an early curve. The other thing about Solar is that he has 40 health, and by giving himself a ++1/1 will make our opponent's Warlord reluctant to trade back in their turn. In other words, he's much more likely to survive to get to the late game. Alright, let's take it. So now that we've established that's why we've got the Warlord, let's look at the deck itself. Alright, so we've got cards like Vanquisher, Full Throttle. These are able to essentially cheat mana, and Full Throttle's great because we can actually get a tank out earlier, so we could get a Baneblade out on turn 9, for example, or a Rogal Dorn out on turn 8. Pinning Fire is, again, helping us get to the late game. It deals 2 damage. That means that you imagine that and the Warlord power, just attacking with our Warlord for 3 and dealing 2 from this. We could deal with something that has 5 health. In addition to that, it's also really great at just stunning and holding up units or holding up the Warlord to basically, again, help us survive into the late game. Now, we do run the Autocannon Squad. This was the last thing that I added to the deck list, and I actually quite like this card because for 3 energy, it has good health, so it's not always easy for your opponent to get rid of it. And if they don't, you can often end up doing 6 damage back because of the way the regiment works. This gains a permanent +1 on its range attack. I think it's a really good unit. We of course have the Ogryns, because why would you go anywhere without these in this faction? They're absolutely fantastic. And again, the Vanguard plays into our game plan of trying to survive into the late game. Now we run the thermal weaponry, and I'll tell you why we run this card. I was originally running the AoE, which is the 5-drop AoE. What's that called now? The Artillery Strike. And I decided that I'm not... Well, this card is not bad, but I don't think it's good either. I think it's pretty... It is bordering on bad, if I'm honest with you. The fact that it's 2 random enemies means that often it hits the Warlord when you want to actually try it and remove the troops. I don't personally like it, and that's why I ended up rethinking the AoE in the deck, and I realized that actually thermal weaponry is pretty good because it's basically doing 3 damage to, well, essentially 3 units really. I mean, you probably do more damage to the middle unit because you're going to be attacking with a tank. And by giving the +1 armor as well, the tank's obviously more durable, more likely to use it. So kind of treating this like a surprise AoE, and it's actually not bad, especially in this deck. I think it's actually better than the Artillery Strike, and it costs 2 less as well. So yeah, that's what we've gone for there. Now I do run the Attilan Rough Riders because if we do get outpaced in the early game, these guys are just fantastic at coming back on board. And again, they help us survive. Of course, we run the Cadia Stands. If we do get this early, then it's just a permanent Vanguard, which again helps us survive. And then we have the High Command as well, because we'll always find a useful point at some point in the mid to late game to use this and cheat out some tempo. Then we do the double sentinels. So this is what we've gone for the 4 drops. They are vehicles. At a pinch we can use their duty to draw 2 cards, but we don't necessarily need to. It's just a pretty good statted 4 drop, to be honest, that's also a vehicle. And we have the Tech-Priest Enginseer. So you've got to imagine all these vehicles I'm talking about. You've got to imagine how good the sentinels are when they only cost 3, right? Because obviously if we get the Enginseer off, if we get to do their duty, then it lowers the cost of all vehicles. And often you're bringing this guy in behind an Ogryn or behind the Shock Trooper that has Vanguard as well. So the Enginseer actually gets to, you know, he's not going to always get to use his ability in this type of deck, but when he does, my goodness. Alright, next up, in the 5 slots, we've gone for the Bullgryns, and again, it's more Vanguard, so again, helping us survive and reach that late game. I do run just a single copy. I did have 2 of these, but when I made room for the autocannons, I've just gone for 1 Cadian Castellan. It fills out our curve quite well, and you can put this guy down and just get a cheeky 1 or 2 triggers of his regiment, and then that can mean that one of your big tanks suddenly costs 1 or 2 less. Quite sneaky in this deck. Now the Leman Russes are really powerful, really where the big tanks should be starting, you know, where you, I think the 7 drop is great, and they're very, very good in the infantry decks, these, but I think they're just good in any deck, to be honest. I think they're just pretty good tanks overall. I do run a single Vanquisher, which obviously, again, it's really difficult for your opponent to take out, and if they don't, then they're in a lot of trouble, because the duty is fantastic. It gives you good solid anti-armor as well. It's pretty good in the mirror. And then we got the Godspear Warhead, because, you know, again, we've survived late game. Potentially our opponent's got a bit of a board, so this helps us reset the board. And then we've got the double Rogan Dorn tank, which I'm absolutely loving, and perhaps is my favourite tank in the faction. It has Vanguard, and that's makes it the safest one, and then the Baneblades, which are also excellent. So that's what the deck looks like. As I said, straightforward game plan in this one. We're really using our Warlord's ability to protect the board, and we're just trying to survive. We're using our Vanguards, and we are just trying to play into the late game and overwhelm with tanks. Alright, let's take a look at what a beginner version of this would look like. So what we've done in this version is we've got rid of all the legendary epics. Every card in here is either a common or a rare. Now you can see that we have obviously had to ditch some legendaries, and I've put the medics in here. I think the medics actually work pretty well in this deck, because again they play into the game plan pretty well. They're an early game unit that helps us trade on board, and they might even help our Warlord heal a few points of health as well. So they're a pretty good replacement. I have put in a single recon operation to help us draw through or deal with any stealth. We've still got all of these cards that we talked about before. I have added in the artillery strikes as extra AoE. I've still kept the thermal weaponries, but I've added those as extras in there. And then we just added a second Vanquisher, and we put a Siege Warfare in as a way of cheating out the tanks. So actually, guys, I think this is a really powerful beginner deck, if I'm honest with you. I think this is pretty good. A lot of the cards, surprisingly, from the pro deck were in the beginner deck, so definitely give it a whirl. What we're going to do now is we're going to take the actual pro version of the deck, and we're going to take it on ladder, and we're going to play some game. Alrighty, so we're playing against the Aeldari. Looking for that early curve. We don't want to keep thermal. I mean, it is very good against Aeldari, but it's not really a card that we play in the early game, so we're going to get rid of it. Full Throttle's a pretty good one to keep. Leman Russ I'm going to kick as well. It's just a little bit too late game when we've only got 3. And so we're going to basically play Infinity Circuit here, because we're quite a late game deck, so starting at E3 instead of E2 on turn 1 makes all the sense in the world for us.
Arise, warriors of the Imperium, for the Emperor!
So we can play this, and then we can double out the Sentinel straight away for a pretty good tempo turn 1 play. I think if this thing does survive, we will definitely use its duty ability because quite low on cards here. Did I throw away the thermal weapon and it came back? Or did I end up keeping that by mistake? I mean, funnily enough, it actually is pretty good now because we can stick it on this.
The shadows are always vigilant.
So we can actually stick this on here now. This is the armor. Hit face, and the blast 3 is going to take out the scorpion. And there we go. We get a resign. Oh, guys. Well, what a start. What a start. A little bit too proud of myself for that one. Okay. Alright, we got Magus. Let's see if this guy's gonna wipe the smile off our face. Now then, do we want the pinning fire? I think we do. It's a pretty good keep at hand. I think we go with the Matt Tremors because he's the beatdown, so we'd rather, if he beats us down, we're basically going to get an extra card.
Arise, warriors of the Imperium, for the Emperor! Only those blessed by the Star Children will know real freedom.
If this was like a greedy sabotage deck, this would be a bit of a mistake to not be attacking here. Okay, we're not in a rush to get rid of that, to be honest. We can just play the Ogryn down. This does 1 damage to a player stratagem.
We bring you the Star Children's blessing. We bring you the Star Children's blessing.
So we could, of course, get rid of the communication, and we could kill that off, but it doesn't really leave us too much. If we play the Enginseer here, I fear that he's still got 3 attack from that. I feel like he's going to be able to get the Enginseer. Then maybe not, right? Maybe not. If he's got the flanker that dies to the 5, well, let's risk it for a biscuit. Ah. Looks like the Enginseer is safe, but unfortunately it is a greedy sabotage, so this is going to hurt us a little bit. I've got to play this, really. I'm going to pin this guy. Again, that means he's relying on a flanker if he wants to clear this. Or backstab. Backstab. Give it.
The Grizzlebit and I have created such wonders to fuel our ascension.
Ugh. Horrible. That's really difficult. Really difficult. We've got to get rid of them, I'm afraid. I think we are just going to attack there. Put the 5 damage on him.
Heed the call of the stars.
What we're going to do here... We want to put this guy down, actually.
Decisiveness is our weapon. Let us
We could get rid of this turn, that's the only thing.
Armed and ready.
Scout patrol to command. I have eyes on the enemy.
Alright, let's take the opportunity to get rid of that out of our hand. Potentially we got a Baneblade drop next turn. I think I'll ignore the poison and just drop it. You could obviously play the Bone'ead and get rid of that. I think I'm actually going to drop this. Probably going to be playing Sanctus here. Drawn so many stratagems that he's bound to have. Bound to have the flank, I'm imagining. Next turn we can actually drop the Leman Russ if we wanted and supply. Gone in with that. Is that to try and... What's he trying to damage? Get much value on that. I guess he's got to try and kill the tank then. Is that the idea?
The Grizzlebit and I have created such wonders to fuel our ascension.
Oh. This would be so good if... visible.
The battlefield trembles under our treads.
think we're just going to go face. Obviously, at some point he can steal one of these. But our health is so high that we're not particularly worried about it.
Give praise to the master below. None can deny the Star Children's deliverance.
Okay, so he kills the Baneblade.
Fail, yet hundreds will
Not
take
enough.
my
And that's
place.
exactly what this deck does, guys. The tanks are just too powerful. Just overwhelms the endgame. Nice. GSC don't have a lot of stuff to deal with those huge units. They have the thing that can steal, so if they get you down early, then you're in trouble, which is why I don't like Ursula with this deck.
Arise, warriors of the Imperium, for the Emperor!
In the Emperor's name, I will end you.
They are kind of forced to face bash as well. Not that it helps us there much. Prayer's a nice count. Prayer was a nice counter there. How we wanted to start the game. Worth doing this now because next turn we want to play Cadia Stands, right?
Scout patrol to come on. I have eyes on the enemy.
Yeah, full throttle's so nice in this deck. It's a bit like this. It's a bit like the Ultramarine Hive Mind, just having like two of them basically. There's so many units of tanks in this deck. It's just really good. Yeah, I thought we'd be seeing the AOE there. That's why I didn't really want to play the Faeburn as well. Putting more resources into it. Okay. Down to one. Not enough though. We will pray. And we will play Cadia Stand. If you like that, I call it pray. So used to sisters. He will do his duty. There we go. Okay. The Morin's going to be a real problem now. His faith already.
Heavy weapon teams awaiting target.
This is where I love this ability though, like just buffing the units. Yeah. Plus it's a permanent buff. It feels so powerful. Okay. Ah. I think we'll play the Castellan. We'll attack with our range, although we are losing health. This is the problem against Morven's a really nasty warlord for us to play in many ways, because it's forcing us to attack to stop the prey, and we don't want to attack. So it's really countering kind of the game plan, which is why our health is definitely going to be lower in this matchup. Wow.
I will offer your blood to the Holy Emperor.
Okay, I think we're gonna play this, and we're not gonna hit the Leman Russ. That's discounted. I think we'll hit the Baneblade, so we can go Vanquisher into the Baneblade then. Just about planning out your curve a little bit. So now we're gonna go with the Leman Russ. Range attack with that. Triggers the Russ, which is nice. Okay. It's only got 3 cards left. What has she got? What would be amazing is if we could force out the Divine Intervention to just use it. So they just use it as a singular hard removal before they reach 8 faith. If we could force that, that would be incredible. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to because they've got the miraculous stuff. Yeah. It's really nasty. Really nasty. Alright, we'll just drop this and do nothing. So they just need one more point of faith and they can basically destroy the whole board. Flank. Okay. Yeah. Do damage. So we can do a ridiculous turn here, right? So we got five energy to spend. We do
Decisiveness is our weapon. Let
3,
us
5.
act swiftly.
Put this on this, and we can play this. Then we can play High Command. Got the Baneblade. I think we'll drop it next to this. And then I think we'll just use this to clear this. Maybe we just missed lethal. Did we just miss lethal? I think we just missed lethal. Yeah, we did. We should have just done the 8 damage there for the main GG. Look at the power of the endgame guys on this deck. Look at the power! It's absolutely insane. The tank company is rolling in, boys. This is so fun as well. This is so fun, this deck, man. Like, it's cool to have like a really powerful late game deck that's just fun but also good. Like, Junith is obviously a powerful late game deck, but she does it more through like a boring kind of grindy way of doing it, whereas this is just like putting out these raw power units and saying, good luck, mate, go deal with them. Jesus. Kill you with the Baneblade. Well, that's a bit risky actually, isn't it? But look at our Lord. I mean, even though we were forced to attack, he's still sitting there with 2 armor and 18 health. He's a real boss, this guy. I know everybody's all excited. Oh no, did I just do that? Yeah, he's a real boss, this Warlord. Have they actually sped up the animation there? I think it feels like they have. It's Abaddon. When a player earns a skull. Blind 1 troop from each player. Okay. That's a good choice for Abaddon against Imperial Guard for sure. I was trying to remember to play around that. We want to just use this now, so then we can cheat this out. No, because we've got the Ogryn, right? Okay, so let's just... Ach. Oh, this ain't a good start for us.
Scout patrol to command. I have eyes on the enemy.
Not bad turn 5 before he can play the Heldrake strike. Okay. Well, we will definitely do this. I think we'll just play this. Now, do we want to stun Abaddon here? I don't think so. I think we just want a Lord Commander. Extra damage. Use the Shock Trooper's ping. Yeah, deck feels solid, guys. Okay, so he still didn't get to that. Wow. I think this is the turn to play this, right? The only thing is with playing this, well...
Decisiveness is our weapon. Let us act swiftly.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Stand fast. Not one step back.
I'm gonna need that Vanguard pretty quick. I've already done a Helldrake. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind you your removal stuff. Now, are you one of these execution players? If we play that, we go down to 6 energy. That costs 6. Yeah. Okay, that's definitely the play. So now we're basically just praying he hasn't got execute. If he's like... I don't know whether the Aberdons have adapted. If it's like the old school ones, there's no way. We've also got the stuns, which are pretty nice against Abaddon. I guess we just drop this, right? Still, we could Baneblade. Put it between these two. Oh, okay. But no, now that he's stunning, now I'm thinking maybe we Leman Russ and just stun. Yeah. I think we got a Leman Russ and stun. Which is annoying because it would be so good to get that Baneblade down. It would be so good. We've got no choice, we've got to stun that. So we play this. Okay, then we do range attack on this. Then we kill that thing. Do we just kill it? I think we do. Don't want any funny business. And we stun this. Nice. Yeah, this is pinning fires really key against Abaddon. Stops all of his shenanigans. I think we got you 3.3k Abaddon player. So we have to. Right? Have we actually got him? Not actually sure we have, to be honest.
Decisiveness is our weapon. Let us act swiftly.
Right, I'm gonna just stun this guy because I don't think we've got lethal. Question is, we are eight. Yes, we do. Like this. And we can play this. About any of his. Not worried about any of his little white monsters. Right, there's no vengeance, there's no merge, but so we've got vengeance and murderous desire sitting in his hand. Double stun was clutch. Yeah, you can have it spawned up. Pretty sure he can't clear all this. He's probably looking for Dark Oratory. Could also play Bringer of Decay and make everything vulnerable. Might help. Still don't know that it's enough though. Okay, he's found the Oratory. Pretty good. Everything's doing 4 damage. And he puts the Vanguards up as well, that's clever. This might be where thermal weaponry comes in. Yeah, we got him. We got him, boys. GG. GG. That was a good game. Let's go again. Deck is feeling really good, guys. Deck is feeling so good. Really is. I have to say I really like the thermal weaponry threat as well. Okay, we're not going to keep high command in the opening hand. And I'm not going to keep the Leman Russ either. I am going to keep the other two, I think. Am I keeping the Bonehead? Okay, so we've got Morven. Again, this is, I don't believe she's a good matchup for us at all.
In the Emperor's name.
It's just in the sense that it forces us to attack when we don't want to attack. Would we put a Shock Trooper out early? I don't think so, right? We want to play that when we play the Tech-Priest, I think.
I will offer your blood to the
God.
Holy Emperor.
I'm gonna hit this again. Ugh, I know it means we take damage, but this is what Solo's really good at. It's like he's not getting value here. He wants to be dealing with my troops with all this nonsense. But I mean, he is putting a lot of hurt on me. This is the problem. Now, yeah, you're gonna definitely get your prayer. Definitely gonna get your 2 faith here, and we're gonna have to take even more damage. But that said, we can then play the Tech-Priest, and we can drop Vanguard. So this might survive. It might not, because all he needs is a Seraphim. No, it's not, because he would also need to play his hero power. Okay, sure. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this for sure. I'm going to ping this for sure. So many options here, guys. So we could play full throttle, for example, which costs us 1, and then that means we can get the autocannon out and we can play Cadia Stands. I kind of like that. Yeah. Or we can just drop the Leman Russ. Oh. You know what, though? We can drop the Leman Russ next turn, and then Cadia Stands is coming. We're getting more value from Cadia Stands. Do I need to hit that? I do, right? If I do it with range, the autocannon gets a buff. Remember as well, the Tech-Priest heals friendly vehicles. And that ability is actually very good in this deck. Sometimes that's actually the more useful thing, believe it or not. It's a flagellant. For the Emperor. Okay. I am actually going to put the Leman Russ down because I get the extra damage here. Ah, hit the wrong thing there. Hit the wrong thing. Next turn's looking like a Bone'ead and either stun or hero power. Wow. Second AoE. Oh Lord. Wow. Not actually 100% sure what just happened there. Oh, he had a mate. Oh, yeah. Little bit confused. Wait, what? What just happened? Did he put... Oh, he had a shield. Right. Right, okay. He had a shield, but he calmed down. We've got to get rid of this. How much is true? I think we want to do this. Question is, do we want to stun? I feel like I want to save stun in case he plays Saint Celestine. Let's do this instead. 9, 13. No, it's not right. Played the hero power. This would be 10, 15, 18, 21, 26. It would be lethal. Let's see what he can do about it.
He offers us redemption.
But he can definitely kill the 1-2 though, can't he? So let me recalculate. So 10. Wait, what? So 10, 15, 18. I don't get why he didn't. I don't know. I feel like I must be missing something. Oh yeah, of course we've got way more anyway, because this guy just keeps doing this, doesn't he?
This does not end here.
GG, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Deck just feels... Deck just feels bonkers. So full throttle means we can play that cheaper, which is quite nice. I think blind hurts us more, because if it's like one unit.
Warriors of the Imperium, for the Emperor!
For Cadia!
We'd be hitting here. I think he's like the aggro deck though, right? Probably. I think he's going to be the aggro deck here. Also going second. Oh gosh, she can put out a lot of 2 drops at once if she wants. Yeah, I think we're going to do this now.
Scout patrol to command. I have eyes on the enemy.
Problem is, obviously, it's so early on in the release. I've no idea what I'm playing. I think I'm playing. When I see her, I'm assuming it's like a regiment aggro build, but yeah, just lining it all up. Yeah, I think it is regiment aggro. I think we're right. Oh, he pins the Lord. Okay, that's interesting. Not too bothered about the draw, if I'm honest.
Hot shot rifles primed. Kill shots authorized.
Got it. Got it. mean, the Ogryn's pretty good. This sort of scenario where it can potentially trade down with units. Good positioning by him there.
Just a flesh wound.
Oh, he had the Bond Soldier. Oh, he had it. Okay, fair enough. Played. This is looking like a sad turn for us as well, guys. Gonna kill that. So like, we're in a fairly even board state at the minute, and like, he's probably, the thing is, he's probably running the hard removal though in this type of deck. Yeah, it is. There it is. This has really, think about Cadia Stands, it has really bad synergy with the Rough Rider. Because the Rough Rider would have been pretty good here.
Decisiveness is our weapon. Let us act swiftly.
I don't need to play this. Ah. Not great.
Not one step back.
This is a really nice turn.
One shot.
Gonna get loads out now. It's a really nice duty that from the Chimera. It's basically putting out two blockers, isn't it? He's got it again. He's got the Bond Soldier twice. So, has he got another hard removal? That's the question. You can always dig for it from Ursula's power. Sure. Ride him down! Ride him down! Well, Doles, you played this very well, my friend. Very well. Really wish this was one of the other tanks, to be honest. you've got to play to finish it, haven't you? Times 2. Oh, he's doing it with the Lord. That's interesting. I was hoping that the ping does it. Oh, the ping is not hoping. It's troop, isn't it? So it guarantees. Yeah, nice. I even use my hero power, can I? Ah, like a bit of a G. Like Chimera is such a good. Yeah, he got me. Played.
Dawn shall rise brightest after the darkest night.
Well played indeed. All right, guys. So there we have it. I mean, let's be honest. We did pretty well there. To be fair, we lost to Devils as a good player, but we did pretty good there. That deck is on a roll and is a lot of fun to play. So yeah, we've got I mean, that last game, I think, reflecting on the mulligan and kind of what we had in the early game was pretty bad. So I'd probably just say you've got to mulligan pretty hard. Like, know your early game here and like mulligan pretty hard for it, to be honest. So yeah, overall, really impressed with that deck. We saw some crazy games there, some absolute blowouts. We just completely overwhelmed our opponent. If you want to play Tank Company, if tanks float your boat, then this looks like a pretty good starting point, guys. Don't forget, we showed you the beginner deck as well, which is also, I think, a very, very powerful deck. So definitely if you're new to the game, then maybe start here and then build up to it. If you've enjoyed this content today, guys, I'd really appreciate you subbing to the channel. It helps me know, it helps me grow, but it also helps me know that this is the sort of stuff that you enjoy. And yeah, expect plenty more Warpforge content coming from me. Got quite a bit lined up this week with EG as well. We're going to be releasing some introductions to faction videos where we're going to go through, give you a good intro. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this and look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take it easy.